Before y'all do anything, make sure you subscribe to the channel. If you rockin' with Young Dolph, go ahead, hit that like button, throw the dolphin emoji in the comment section, and let me know where y'all from. Let's go. The fans are still looking at CMG, man. Ever since Moneybagg Yo and Blac Youngsta and Yo Gotti had that fallout and all them artists started leaving CMG, that's what really made it to a point where that was a thing that they could always come back and tell about all the little secrets that CMG had going on. All the stuff that they did for him. They didn't forget about all the times that they try to help him out, man. All the stuff that they did for him that they really wasn't supposed to do. They remember that. And at any given moment, Blac Youngsta, Moneybagg Yo, they could all get revenge on Yo Gotti and basically tell on the whole thing that they've been doing, man. Everybody, I'm sure Blac Youngsta knows a lot about what happened with Young Dolph. He knows something. He knows a lot of things that people don't know, and this is what makes Yo Gotti get worried, because ever since Blac Youngsta left CMG and he started dissing Yo Gotti and everything again, then everybody started knowing that, okay, if the fans pick up Blac Youngsta, if he crashes out and does anything like that, then he's probably going to be the person that's going to most likely tell on the Dolph trial, CMG, any of the whole other things that's been going on. Because if you really been paying attention to what's going on, you would know for a fact that a whole lot of these dudes knew each other and knew what was going on in the streets, and that people are saying that allegedly, you know what I'm saying, that Yo Gotti brought in Blac Youngsta just to inherit the diss and inherit the beef between Yo Gotti and Young Dolph and everything like that. So Blac Youngsta came in, man. He was being the right hand man. He was being the security man, the arm man, you know, the bodyguard for Yo Gotti. And so since Yo Gotti was putting Blac Youngsta on, he gave him a big advance. He gave him hundreds of thousands of dollars and the whole connections that he had and everything like that. Then when Blac Youngsta got that, it made him think, you know what, if this dude giving me hundreds of thousands of dollars, whoever got a problem with him, whoever he's beefing with, I gotta step in and make sure to get them out the way. This is what a lot of people thought was going on when Blac Youngsta joined in with CMG, because they knew for a fact that it's no way that Yo Gotti was getting him in just purely for the music, because a lot of people knew that there wasn't that many Blac Youngsta fans in Memphis. It was way more fans of Young Dolph, some fans of Yo Gotti and Moneybagg Yo. But at the end of the day, they know for a fact that with the actions that was taken, the 100 shots, all of the sneak disses by Blac Youngsta in the songs and in Yo Gotti's whole entire CMG crew, they knew that Blac Youngsta was coming in just to be the hitter, basically. And so when they had a fallout, when him and Yo Gotti split up and they broke up the whole entire crew, Yo Gotti went his separate way, Blac Youngsta went his whole other way, Moneybagg Yo went with Zebo, Break Gang and everything. Everybody's in their own little corners now. And so this is what make it dangerous for CMG, because they don't know what Blac Youngsta's thinking. Blac Youngsta over here, he lost his brothers. He lost a whole lot of stuff. He lost the crew he was hanging out with. He lost the payment he was getting from Yo Gotti, all that money that was coming in from him being actually signed and tied to CMG. Whenever they went on tour, whenever they did the shows, concerts, so on, he would get something from that. Now that he detached from it, then Blac Youngsta, he's feeling some type of way. He's ready to go and spin the block, crash out, do whatever he got to do to get even the score and get the revenge on the people that double-crossed him out in CMG, and that's including Moneybagg Yo and Yo Gotti, Govan and Big Jook, because all these people was talking to Blac Youngsta. They told him, yeah, don't worry, we gonna get you. Nobody's gonna tell on you. No one's gonna tell on you. The word ain't gonna get out. All of this stuff happened, right? But then next thing you know, when Govan and Big Jook get sent up to the interrogation room and they put the spotlight in their face and they start asking all them questions, they threw Blac Youngsta under the bus, because they knew at the end of the day that Big Jook and Govan been rocking with Yo Gotti for like 20 years, man, for a long, long time. And so since Blac Youngsta's the newest person into this team of just them doing what they was doing, right, then they threw Blac Youngsta under the bus, because he was the dude that wasn't, they was all clicked up, a little bit older than him. He started feeling it differently. He was the one that was actually the front man soldier that was going out into the field and doing things, recruiting people, talking to them, all of that stuff. And so now that they all pretty much no longer cool with each other, then now Blac Youngsta, he knows all the intricate details of what they all was doing in the streets. He knows exactly what Govan was doing, and he knows how to make it to where whatever Govan testified for, Blac Youngsta might have a counter reaction to that and make it to where he actually says that it was on Govan and Big Jook and Yo Gotti, instead of them saying it's on him and straight dropping Cornelius. it's still 5 other people that they didn't tell you about that's in this whole entire thing. After they got Devin Burns, after they got all them other dudes, they all came back. They interviewed all of them, and everybody was basically told by the higher ups basically to say that it was Blac Youngsta. So they made this whole thing to where they got everybody that's around the situation. If they did have to tell, if they did do anything, they was gonna throw Blac Youngsta under the bus because he was the one that was leaving CMG. The whole hits came from the other people, man. They sent the message down. Then they sent the message down to the dudes that did it. And so at the end of the day, they knew who were they gonna have for a fall guy, who was gonna be the pawns of the chess pieces, and who are gonna be the masterminds of the whole thing. And they already told y'all, the Fed said that Govan is the mastermind of the whole thing. If he's the mastermind of the Dolph hit, then why did they give him a 90K bond? Most of the time, we see all over the news, we see on TV, all these court things where they showing that, like, a lot of people, they pick and choose who gets it and who doesn't, and it depends how much you tell them and if you cooperated. And that's really what it comes down to, man. Like, Young Thug still sitting in there, and he didn't try to cooperate or nothing like that, and so this is why he don't get nothing. But when Govan came in and he cooperated, he worked with them and everything, he told them where Blac Youngsta was hot, and he made the storyline about all the stuff around the Bentley, all the stuff that's surrounding around everything that had to do with the Dolph stuff. Since he spilled the beans on everybody in the whole entire situation, they gave him perks, they gave him benefits and everything to get him out on 90K bond, when most of the time they would not do that for anybody. If it was anybody else out there, they'd be looking at 25 life, everything like that. To be pinned as the mastermind of the Dolph hit and to be able to walk out free on the ankle detector monitor, that's the craziest thing ever. And he's coming back into court saying that he wants even more release. He wants to be able to walk without the monitor. And the judge saying they can't do that because you've seen how Blac Youngsta brother got hit up. You've seen how all these people are targeting CMG because of the things that they got going on with each other. They can't let Govan out like completely free. And it's even crazy that they even letting him come in and argue all that stuff when they called him the mastermind of the Dolph hit. It seemed like this whole thing got a lot of people itching and scratching their head, trying to really put the pieces of the puzzle together and figure this whole entire thing out, because at the end of the day, when you put 2 and 2 together, it don't add up. This whole thing don't add up about how they let Govan get out and everything like that. How did he do that if he's the mastermind of that? And then the whole thing that don't add up about how that Bentley truck was just driving by at the perfect time. It don't add up about how they got the white car confused with another white car from Covington. For a whole year, they were trying to tell y'all that 2-door that pulled up on the scene in that parking lot, and the dudes ran out of it with the Dracos and act like they were shaking them to make it look like something happened in the front. They try to say that was a car from Covington and that somebody took it from this gas station from this lady. It turns out that after all these months of investigation, after all these years of them backtracking everything, interviewing all these people, it turns out that wasn't even the car anyways. It was not the same car. They try to tell you a clean-cut story and try to put everything on the news and sweep it under the rug and try to get you to forget about it. But in all actual reality, everybody looked back and they opened their eyes and they seen for a fact that that car could have and allegedly could have belonged to Blac Youngsta's girlfriend or whoever it was, because that was the only other person that had that type of car in Memphis. It's a whole, you could figure everything out because Memphis is so small and everybody knows everybody. So when you go to see who's driving that type of car that they ended up dumping on Bradley Street, the same place they shot the Straight Drop music video, he knows Blac Youngsta girlfriend. That's the person that be giving them the rides to all of these things, man. Straight Drop don't have a license. He got it taken away when he went and sprayed up that bowling alley. So somebody was giving him a ride the whole entire time. And the only person that car could have belonged to was really on the side of Blac Youngsta and his females and his girlfriends and everything like that. And so now that came back apart, then that's even more of a reason why everybody's trying to set Blac Youngsta up to take the blame for this situation, because he's already got connected pieces saying that the car was there and that it's connected to him and his girl and everything like that. Some people said that they might have seen Blac Youngsta walking on the side of the Family Dollar when the whole thing was happening, right after the Dolph thing popped off, man, it was all these weird cars and weird places and position. Like back then, watching Young Dolph the whole entire time, watching how the play was going to work out. In case Young Dolph was able to get up out of there and escape out that cookie shop, there was at least 10 dudes waiting outside that was going to be able to try to like flank him and everything like that, man. And so this is the reason why they don't want to show you none of the footage, because everybody knows when that U-Haul was backing into the back of the cookie shop, that's when all the footage cut off. That's when they're going to stop playing everything. Then they're going to fast forward it to when the dudes came into the front with the Drakes and shaking it and everything like that. But everything in between, they're never going to show the footage of Young Dolph walking inside that cookie shop, because he wasn't even walking inside that cookie shop. They dragged him to the front window, man. Everything is alleged. And so what you got to understand is that everybody was paying attention. They were saying this, they were saying that, but all of those stories changed. When they went back to interview the people who was working at that cookie shop, the cookie girl gave two completely different stories. There's no way that you should be able to do that and people don't look into it, man. When you give a story saying that everything happened inside the store and that the owners were there and this person was there and that he seen them and he was ducking when everything was flying, but then they come back just a matter of a couple hours later and they say what happened. But she got a chance to speak with all the people there to figure out what story they was going to put together. So when they came back with the question the second time around, she said she changed the whole story to say that it was outside of the store and that the owner wasn't there and that nobody see nothing and everything like that, and that one lady seen the two dudes running in and she ran to the back without hitting the emergency button. One thing you got to understand is that it took 20 minutes for the whole entire MPD to show up to the parking lot. And in that amount of time, man, that's too much time to pass when they only a block away. That's why you got to understand that they must have been panicking and walking around, pacing back and forth, trying to figure out what they was going to say to the operators when they call in. And so this is the reason why everybody got to stay tuned and make sure to subscribe for all the updates.